Well, we're about 11 hours away from a high-stakes summit in Singapore between President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. That'll happen there on Tuesday. It'll be the first time a sitting U.S. president meets with the leader of North Korea. And the president has said this is a, quote, get-to-know-you meeting that will be the first of many.
I feel that Kim Jong-un wants to do something great for his people, and he has that opportunity, and he won't have that opportunity again.
The president is expected to meet with Kim on Tuesday at 9 a.m. in Singapore, which is 8 p.m. our time tonight. So CBS News will be planning special coverage of the summit. And WCCO's chief political reporter Pat Kessler joins us now. Pat, you know, this is a very complicated topic. We know President Trump often, goes with his gut. He said he's going to be able to tell within 1 minute if Kim Jong-un is serious about denuclearization. Is that possible?
You know, that's what the president says. He is a world-class deal maker. He does go by his gut an awful lot of the time. And many times he's right, but it sounds like many times he's also wrong. The stakes, as you mentioned, are very, very high for this one. We have to remember that Kim Jong-un is a murderous dictator. The president knows that going in. The president is going to trust his gut, and he says he'll know whether they want to do something, whether they want to actually get something done. And the White House is already casting this as a success, so maybe he knows something we don't.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see some of the talk about that this morning, things going a lot quicker than they expected. There's a lot at stake here for Kim. Countries under strict international sanctions. Many North Koreans are poor and hungry. So what does that country have to gain by giving up some of their nuclear weapons?
Yeah, this is a big deal. The United States is demanding denuclearization of the entire of North Korea. But there's so many steps to that. How many weapons do they have? What does it mean? How long will it take? Will inspectors be allowed in? Those are some of the goals that the United States wants. I think for Kim Jong-un, just meeting with President Trump is a victory. It's already a victory. This is something that North Korea has been trying to do for 40 years or more. So that's good for him. And now Kim is on the world stage as a world leader, meeting on equal footing with President Trump. But if President Trump can accomplish this, and I think everybody would like to see this happen, this would be a remarkable victory for President Trump as well. Denuclearization, that's a big, big deal.
A huge deal that no one else has been able to accomplish in years.
Absolutely right.
Pat, let's turn up to another summit, the G7 summit, which is all the U.S. allies. A big news over the weekend. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had said after President Trump left and agreed to, a new policy that Canada would respond with new tariffs against the U.S. President Trump comes out calling Trudeau, saying making false statements, calling him weak and dishonest. What do you make of this?
Well,
we're friends now with North Korea, and we're feuding with Canada.
Exactly. How does this happen? We do know that President Trump did not want to go to the G7 summit. He went late, left early, got in a big fight with all of our allies. Where does that leave us? We are on the edge of a trade war with perhaps one of our closest, if not our closest ally, literally and figuratively, Canada, our friends in Canada. The president is making some points about trade. It's more transactional, like you did this, so we're going to do this. But I think we're on the edge of a trade war, which could, incidentally, affect a lot of farmers in Minnesota, a lot of businesses in Minnesota, from Cargill and grain to pork producers. These are huge tariffs that Canada is threatening to retaliate with. So this is a remarkable turnabout where suddenly we are alienating our allies and drawing close the people in North Korea. So you're right. I mean, this is going to be a day worth watching.
Right. And some have said this is President Trump's way of showing strength going into the North Korea summit. But
I don't know how that works. I haven't quite got my head around that yet, but if that's for Kim, that's a whole nother thing.
Right. All right. Thanks, Pat, so much. We'll look for you on the news tonight at 5 and 6.
You bet.